Okay, well, the thing that I'd like to teach you is about how to sort of make sense out of all the stress that you get. I know that there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, but maybe it'll give you insight on how to keep that inner calmness a little bit more so that you don't get all stressy. I mean, just a little while ago, I saw you crying because you're so concerned about your kids, and I love that about you, is that you care so much for them. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've done some things that, after I've done it, I went, geez, that was kind of stupid, and I kind of look at myself and I try and figure out why I did it.
Like what?
Oh, like I cut somebody off driving in this morning, and I got all angry, and then I went, oops,
Oops.
oops,
Cutting
why
somebody
did I
off,
cut
yeah.
somebody off? And I almost gave him the finger, but I stopped myself just before that. But I was like,
Get
whoa,
out!
dude, like slow it down.
Give him
And
the
this
finger.
helps me learn to go, okay, why did I do that, and how can I go
Yeah.
about changing it? Are you interested? I think you can give it a shot and see what you think. And it helps you understand you. And actually, it'll really help you understand your kids better. You can help them learn things better. Because it's all about learning,
Okay, my
right?
kids are smart, man. They don't need to learn shit. I mean, they learn
Well,
stuff, but
you know,
they...
yeah. Well, that's great. And this will just make you an even better mother and teacher for them. Yeah. You interested?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, though.
Okay. Well, sometimes people do things and you kind of don't know why you did it. Sometimes you do, sometimes you didn't.
Like
And then-
cutting the guy off there?
Yeah, like cutting the guy off. Sometimes you start doing things and you go, I want to stop. I mean, how many times do you try and stop doing drugs? And you did a lot of that and stop and start.
Yeah, it wasn't my fault, man. It was all the people around me. They were doing it too, right?
I understand. And you kind of try and figure out, well, what is it that I got to do to do this? And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's a little easier. Some days it's harder, some days it's not. But part of the deal is trying to figure out you controlling you. Because sometimes, I listen to you, it's like everybody else is pulling your strings. Everybody else is kind of going, here, Melissa, do this for me. Hey, Melissa, do that for me. Melissa, you got it. Melissa, you got it.
Everybody wants me to help them out, man. It's like,
And it's really hard to sort of take charge of your life because everybody's pulling at you.
yeah, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And what I want to teach you is you need to change that a little bit, right? You can't be their slaves all the time.
Yeah, but what am I supposed to do then?
Okay, well, I can't give you the answers, but what I can do is I can help you start figuring out what's going on inside of you so that you get a better handle on it. It's kind of neat, because what it does is it helps you figure shit out.
Well, what is it?
Okay, it's called Spot the Dog.
You're fucking kidding, right?
Well, it's a basic principle. Everybody learns the same way, right? We all learn by doing stuff, and the principles apply to everybody, okay? Applies to your kids, applies to you, applies to me. But the big thing is that it's a lot of shit happening all at once when you're living life, right? And it gets all messy. So what I do is I like to teach people about Spot the Dog so that I can start showing them and we can have a common language to help you get more of what you want, which is less drama in your life, a little less stress, and you getting the things that you want. Keep your kids, have a nice stable home, get your life in order so that you're happy with it.
I don't get the dog part, though.
Bear with me.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
about 5 minutes, okay? You ever taught a dog to sit down?
No.
Can you imagine how to teach a dog to sit down? Everybody can.
Push its arse down?
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, let's say let's see my dog, Spot, okay? Let's say Spot's standing there in front of you, he's wagging his tail, he's looking at you, okay? And you want to teach him to sit down. So what's the first thing you do?
Push his butt down.
You push his butt down or do you say sit first?
Sit first.
First you say sit, okay? I'm going to slow it down, okay? So you
Okay.
say sit, and then of course, Spot looks at you and goes what?
He
It's
doesn't
the
know
first.
it.
He doesn't know what's
have a
going
clue,
on.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll put 3 question marks for what's going off in Spot's head because he's going, what are you talking about? So you do what? You told me earlier you push his butt down on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Follow with me, okay? Because this is kind of neat. So once he gets his butt on the floor, what do? Remember, you're trying to teach him, right? So what do?
It's like potty training, I guess. you
Yeah,
just say,
exactly. Yeah, you say good dog, you scratch him behind the ears, you pat him on the head.
Right.
Basically what I say is you give him a cookie. It's just like potty training. You got it. Okay? So Spot eats his cookie, he enjoys the tummy rub, gets up, he's wagging his tail again, he's standing there looking at you, and of course you want to teach him, so what do? You say,
Yeah. What does that have to do with Candace, though?
Hang on, okay? Follow me first, okay?
Sit. Okay, yeah,
sit.
yeah.
Okay, so this is the second time Spot hears it, and what does he think? He doesn't know yet, right? He's got maybe 2 question marks because he's had it once before, right?
Yeah.
So you push his butt down on the floor again. And of course you give him a
cookie.
okay. You do this a whole bunch of times. Some Spots are smarter than others. They'll pick it up quicker, right? Some are a little slower. It'll take a little bit longer. Eventually, when you say sit, what goes off in Spot's head? What does he think?
It's a cookie?
Okay. Is that all he thinks? He wants a cookie?
Sits?
Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going to sit. But what is he thinking?
I don't know what he's thinking.
Well, you said he's going to sit. What do you think he might be thinking? Is he thinking maybe ass on floor equals a cookie?
Ass on the floor means cookie, yeah.
Okay. And at that time, then he sits all on his own, right? Because you're not pushing him this time. Right?
Right, yeah.
And of course, being a good trainer, you give him all kinds of cookies all by himself. It's just like potty training. Sooner or later, they realize, ooh, go poo-poo, go on toilet. Go on toilet, does it in the toilet, and he gets mommy going, yay, or an M&M, or whatever it happens to be, right?
Cheerios.
Cheerios, okay?
Yeah.
Now, see all this stuff, okay? When you say sit to Spot, that's what I call an outside cue. It is something that is outside of Spot, okay? For Spot, everything outside of him is an outside cue. It's people, places, you, me, okay? For your outside cues, this probation office is an outside cue. I'm an outside cue. Your sister is an outside cue. Your kids are an outside
My
cue.
sister's like 5 outside cues.
True enough, okay? But they're outside cues. They're people, places, and things, everything outside of you, okay?
Okay.
This is all
Yeah.
the stuff that goes on inside of Spot's head. I call them inside cues.
Am I supposed to be Spot?
No, no. I'm talking about Spot right now, okay? I'll show you how it relates to you in a minute, okay? These are inside cues. This is all the stuff that goes on inside a Spot, okay? It's whatever he thinks, whatever dogs think, dog feelings, whatever, okay? For us, it would be things like our memories, our stress, okay? Our thoughts, what we want, what we don't want. It's all the things inside of us, okay? You with me so far? This is Spot's behavior, his actions, okay? And this is consequences. You with me so far?
Yep.
Okay, now here's the trick question, okay? Why does Spot sit down on his own? What explains Spot sitting down all by himself?
Because he gets a cookie.
Well, he got a cookie here and he wasn't sitting on his own. He got a cookie here and he wasn't sitting on his own. So the cookie doesn't fully explain why he sits on his own.
He knows what sit means.
Yeah, this. He knows that ass on floor, I'm going to get a cookie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If he never thinks that, if he never ever thinks that, is he ever going to sit on his own?
No.
No. So what caused his behavior to sit? The outside cue, inside cue, or the consequence?
I don't know, man.
Well, you just told me that if he never thinks that, he's not going to sit on his own. So what's the
inside
only
cue?
explanation? Yeah. This is what causes him to sit. That's an incredibly valuable lesson. That's what causes him to sit. Now, of course, you saying sit and the cookies and all that stuff gives you context, but that's the reason why he sits in that particular moment in time. That's really important. Now, as a mother, I'm sure you realize that cookies do what? They teach, right? That's how you teach your kids to potty train, right? Cookies teach, and that's really, really important. You want to know why? You're looking at me, I don't know, Guy. Here,
I don't.
here. You want to learn some new things in your life, right? You want to learn to handle stress better. You want to feel better. If you're going to teach yourself something new, you're going to need some cookies, aren't you? Make sense? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right? Now, I got one more lesson to teach you, okay? Let's say today I'm in a really crummy mood, okay? I say sit to Spot. So Spot thinks what?
He sits.
Well, what does he think?
Put my bum on the floor.
Yeah, bum on floor equals what?
Cookie.
Cookie. So he sits. And today, because I'm in a really crummy mood and my sister came over and drove me nuts, I actually boot Spot in the head. Now, I don't really do this, but just assume I did. Okay? Yeah, I know it's kind of funny. Okay? The next time I say sit, this poor Spot, what do you think Spot's going to do?
I'm not gonna sit because you're gonna kick him in the head.
Okay, he's not going to sit, so what is he going to do? Run away? If you were Spot, what would you do?
So I get the heck out of there.
Okay. If it was Candace, what'd she do?
She'd probably sit around. She likes to have the kicked
That's
over.
right, she'd probably sit. And if it's your mom,
Yeah, well, she'd just probably beat the crap out of me.
yeah, there you go. She would bite you or
Yeah,
something, right?
yeah.
So, what did the boot teach Spot?
To be afraid.
Really? One's getting angry, one's sitting anyways, and one's
Yeah.
running away. Would you say Spot's a little confused?
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets confused, and we don't know what the hell he's going to do. This is a really important lesson. You want to know why? When people get boots, they get confused. Look at you. You got charged with and convicted of the cocaine possession. You got the big boot. And it just gets you all confused, kerfuffled, angry, and all kinds of negative stuff. Right?
I know this is supposed to make sense, but I can't figure it out.
Okay. Well, let's slow it down. What's one thing really proud you did today? What's something that you did? How did you handle some stress today?
I came here.
That was your behavior. Now, in addition to coming to see me, it was a little stressful for you too, wasn't it?
Totally stressful.
Okay. We'll put stress as an inside cue because that's where it happens, right? It's all inside of you, right? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What was the outside cues? Hey, it's 11 o'clock. It's your appointment time with your PO. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. This morning, anything else going down? You know, of course, you had Candace's stuff going on last week and all that
Last
other.
night.
Last night. Okay. You got the kids off to school.
Yeah.
You're a bit tired, aren't you?
I'm
After last
exhausted.
night. You're exhausted. And it's the whole, we'll just write last night's drama. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. What were you thinking before coming here? Before getting out of the house to come see me?
What was I thinking?
Yeah.
I was thinking, I don't want to be here. This is totally unfair.
This is totally unfair. I don't want to do it.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, you had to say something inside of your head to get your butt over here.
Yeah,
didn't
well, I
you?
don't want to lose my kids, right? I told you that's why.
Remember my kids. I'll do it for them, right? That's what you said? That's what got your butt here?
Yeah.
I'll do it for my kids. So you came to see me. What's some of the consequences of coming to see me? Hey, you don't get breached.
I don't get breached.
Yeah, so you stay on your probation, all's hunky-dory, hunky-dory. Yeah. No more evidence or reason for CES to take your kids, right? Giving them no more, okay?
I'm not going to take my kids.
No more for CES, okay? You're showing your probation officer in the court that, hey, I can do what I said I was going to do. You gave me your word you were going to show up. You're still giving me your word. I think that's important, right? You're following through. That's
Yeah.
good for you, right?
Yeah.
That's good. You telling yourself any good things for coming here? Showing Guy.
Showing Guy I'm a wreck.
No, you're showing me that you care and that you're trying.
I'm
That's
really
what
trying.
I can see that.
Get down.
I'm really trying. Good, you tell yourself that. And can you also maybe tell yourself that you're succeeding? You're here. And you're actually, trying to do some work for yourself. All of these inside cues, I like breaking them up into two kinds, okay? One sort of stinky or negative, and the other one sort of positive, okay? For you, you got some thoughts in here that are actually increasing your stress. I call them tapes, okay? Like a cassette tape or a bass track. You know,
You're really
stuff.
old.
Yeah, I know. Think of it as a CD track, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you got an MP3 going off inside of your head. This is totally unfair. I don't want to do it. I shouldn't have to come here. That's the old tracks inside of your head. What does that do inside of you when you're thinking that? I bet you get angry.
Piss me off.
Yeah, and then you feel overwhelmed, like I got to do something else for somebody else again. Nobody ever thinks about me, and here I am serving everybody else again. Just makes it all bubble up, right? And then you tell yourself, I'm going to do this for my kids because that's important to me. And that lowers it a little bit, right? That's what I call a counter. It's a new music that's good for you. Thinking this way helps you come see me. And you know what? The reason why you came to see me is not because of the court order. It's not because I told you to. It's because you decided to do it. And who does that benefit? Me or you? Who gets cookies out of you coming here? You get to keep your kids, you get no more stuff for the CES to do it, and you get to show that you're really trying to somebody else, and you tell yourself you're really trying. Who's that benefit? Sounds to me like it benefits you,
Benefits me.
okay? Because I know the system don't care most of the time, okay? And it's nice to see. This is how it applies to you. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to help you figure out all the kinds of things that go on inside of you so that you can maybe start changing it so it's a little easier for you. You can treat yourself a little nicer, feel a little less stressed.
I want to feel
Yeah.
less stressed.
Make it a little easier to not even bother with drugs and alcohol anymore. Make sure you be the good mother that you want to be. Make sure that, you know, in 8 months from now, bye, Guy, it was nice knowing you, but you'll never see me again, and you know it's the truth. That would be cool. I would love that. And I think you would too. Not that, you know, I'm really a horrible guy, but coming here kind of stinks. You know, I agree with you.
Coming here totally sucks.
I know. Okay, now we'll go over this again, okay? Because it can get really complicated. You throw in Candace in here, ooh, it gets real messy, you can imagine, right? Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before we do Roundup, I'd like to give you a little exercise for you to do between now and the next time I see you. Okay? And the purpose of that is just for you to get a handle on some of this stuff so that both yourself and me can help you learn how to do this stuff. Does that sound like a reasonable goal for you?
Yeah.
Okay. What I'd like you to do is once every day or once every 2-3 days, when you're feeling kind of overwhelmed, stress, just write down the stuff that's inside of your head on a piece of paper. You got a journal or something that you could do that? Just a couple of, you know, 1 or 2 things. Like Candace, oh, she's just being her nutty, crazy self again, and she expects me to mop up her mess. That'd be one.
That's like every day.
I know. Okay? And I just want you to keep a running track of that so that'll give us something for us to work with. Okay? And I can help you figure out how to maybe change that. At the bare minimum, just think about it. If you can write it down, that's great. I know writing it down can sometimes be a pain, but just try and listen to yourself. Okay? And then remind yourself, I'm doing this so that I get what I want. A good mom to my kids in my house. Does that sound reasonable? Is that doable for you?
Yeah, if everybody would stop picking on me.
I know. I think you're perfectly capable, and you can give it a try if you can find the little piece. And I think it'd be really helpful. Because all I ask you is to try. Just like you. I believe you.
Yeah.
I'm really trying. I believe that.
I don't have to write it down.
No, just remember it. That's the bare minimum. Try and remember.
Okay, I could do that.